Today we're going to be learning how to use one of the features on the Gapminder website. If you're not already on the Gapminder website, you can click in the search bar, gapminder.org. It'll correct you as you go. And depending on what device you're using, there might be a drop-down bar with a bunch of lines. If you're on a browser, on a computer, click up here on Resources and scroll down until you find Line Chart. Now, line chart gives us the ability to have graphs, and we're going to be clicking on this little search magnifying glass here that says Find, and we're going to unselect all of the countries that it's automatically put in for us. Now, we're looking at countries primarily in Asia and in Africa. So for my example here, I'm going to choose Afghanistan, and I'm going to choose a country in Africa. Let's choose Chad. I'm going to click OK. If you just exit by clicking away from it, it's not going to save what you wanted. Now, the next thing that I'm going to want to change is what exactly my line graph is that I'm looking for. So I'm going to click on the title here, and it's going to give me the option to select pretty much anything I want. So the first thing that I'm going to be interested in finding is the population. So I could let this run back from the start, or by dragging it forward, you can see and fast forward to the effect up here of what the current population is. So Afghanistan has a population of just under 40 million. Chad has a population. I can even click on the arrow here or move my mouse cursor up close to it, of about 15.3 million as we get close to today's population. Afghanistan, there we go, just 37 million. So that's going to be one of the things that I want to take a look at. And since I am interested in keeping this, I'm going to snip it. And that's essentially taking a screenshot. So depending on the device, you might do something different. But I'm going to take a snip of this, drag it over all the interesting information that I need, the axes for the graphs, and the title, as well as the names, and just let go. And now I'm going to save this to my desktop. We'll call it number 1. So the next thing that I'm going to be looking at is related to population. So I could search it down here, or I could look at it here. I'm going to be looking for population density. So I type in density, and I'm going to click on population density. And there I have another graph. So you can see Afghanistan has always had more people in a smaller area than Chad has. Chad has been more spread out, but Afghanistan's has also been rising a lot faster. So the population density, the number of people per square kilometer, if you were to spread them out evenly, Afghanistan is a little more crowded than Chad is. That's, of course, an average. So I could take a snip of this and call it number 2 if I wanted. And we're going to go on to the third graph that we're looking for, which is urbanization. So for urbanization, there are 2 different options here. Well, there's 4, but I want urban population. And you see that one of them says urban population, and then in brackets, % of the total population. And down here, it just says urban population. And while it's nice to just know how many people are living in cities, what we're really interested in for our studies here is the % of the total, because this means that people are moving from the cities or from the countryside into cities. The higher the population, the higher the percentage is, the higher and more number of people there are living in cities. So you can see here that at different points in history, at first, say, Chad urbanized really quickly. Lots of people moved into a city that's going from almost 0 up to about 20, and then it kind of leveled off for a while and didn't get much higher. Afghanistan's here started at 8.4%. It went up to about 20. So a similar rise, but over a longer period of time. So they had more time to deal with that growth, and then it kind of flatlined again, and once again is rising a little more steeply than Chad's is here. So this gives me 3 different graphs and 3 different pieces of information to analyze.